Hi guys, Yacca here. So I have a suggestion for 7 decks that you can use to climb with in the July season. We're coming up on the next expansion right now, and the meta right now is quite set. But there are still decks evolving out there, and there's still a few surprises coming up. Looking back towards the start of the season, this expansion that we have right now, Rogue were really dominant, and the only counter to Rogue were actually Warrior. After a bunch of nerfs and some card buffs and so on, we're actually at a point now where Rogue is not really. They're not even in the top tier. They have still got a few good decks, but and I actually have one with me here that should be possible to use. But they're not in a good spot, of course. But I think we should jump into it and look actually at the one. It's actually more of a second tier deck, but this Hook Tusk Rogue that you see here, it's a little bit of it's a value-oriented deck, you could say. It's something that is really good against a lot of decks, but it struggles a lot with Warrior, just like Rogue traditionally has throughout the entire expansion. And they really struggle against it. But it's actually quite a good deck to try and climb with. And there are, of course, some expensive cards in here. I have a budget deck as well, if you are tight on dust. But this is actually quite an okay deck. Just be aware that you're struggling with Warrior. But up until rank 5, you should be okay with using this deck actually, because Warriors are becoming more prominent at rank 5 upwards. But definitely worth climbing with this deck. It has a good win rate, and again, very much favored against a lot of the classes out there. But it's kind of at the bottom at the moment. Then we have also, not quite in the first tier of decks, we have the Mech Paladin. So Mech Paladin is actually one of the decks that is good against Warrior. One of the few decks that can actually go toe to toe with them and is actually favored. However, there's also it is struggling against mages, all kinds of mages and all kinds of shamans. And that's actually something that is not a huge drawback up until again rank 5. Mages become much more prominent towards legend ranks, so they start to submerge a little bit more around rank 5, and towards legend and in legend they are right throughout the place, even much more present than some of the other decks. But until rank 5, Mech Paladin is a good climb, but at that point in time, unless you're seeing a lot of Warriors, try and think about changing decks at that point in time. So that's the Mech Paladin, the way it plays, and the thing you have to be aware of is that you make some cheap minions, you buff them in hand with the buffed card, the Glowstone Technician, and you magnetize your different mechs, and then you can go for a big swing later on with Kangor's Endless Army. What is important to notice with Kangor's Endless Army is that it's only the magnetized things that actually magnetized mechs that actually gets the upgrades. So if you have buffed minions, for instance through the Glowstone Technicians, these buffs are not something that the mechs are keeping when you drop Kangor's Endless Army. But just as long as you're aware of that, then you should be in a good spot with this deck, because then the main gist of it, the game mechanic, is dropping some mechs, buffing them, maybe doing a faceless manipulator, so you have 2 mechs, and they're going to be hard to kill off. There's not a lot of silence at the moment. And then you have your Mechano X, which drops 8/8 Robosaurs. So building giant minions, summoning them back with the Kango Sender's army, and then you win from there. So the next one is a bit more tempo-ish. It's the Murloc Shaman. It has a very good win rate at the moment. It struggles against Control Warrior, but other than that, it's a good matchup towards more or less everything else. I haven't played a lot with the deck, but I've been playing against it a lot. And just getting, for instance, the Underbelly Angler up and running, then you can reload your hand completely. You have to be a bit cautious with using the Underbelly Angler, especially against decks which has AoE. But other than that, it's a very good deck for climbing, also because the matches are quite fast. Whereas other decks are somewhat slower. So Murloc Shaman, you have your conclusions rather quickly, and many times you're actually favored. Just be aware that the warrior matchups, if you're seeing a lot of warriors, then Murloc Shaman will be struggling. It's the worst matchup for that specific archetype. And then we actually have the budget deck coming up towards the top of the list. It's a very, very solid deck. I've been doing a little bit of calculation on this. Snip Snap is a legendary that we got for free. So I'm not counting that, because that would be 1600 Dutch to craft that one specifically. But the rest of the deck in total is 1360 dust. So not even a legendary craft. And it is a really, really good deck. It is struggling a little bit against Warrior, but it can squeeze out wins, definitely. And then it's also struggling with Zulok, but that's not really prevalent in the meta right now. And then also with Mech Paladin that we just went through. The bigger minions simply cannot keep up with that, and you also get the magnetized taunts, which they have such a hard time punching through. But other than that, those 2 decks, Zulok and Mech Paladin, they're not in a lot of places right now, so Token Druid is definitely worth the climb. It's a budget deck that you should be able to go all the way through Legend with, if you get accustomed to playing with the deck. And this is one of the highest win rate decks that you see here with the token archetype. So it's a really, really solid deck, and it's very cheap. So give it a shot if you want to do a budget climb. You're tight on dust. This is definitely worth it, and a lot of this is probably going to stay solid into the next expansion as well. Then we have a couple of hunter classes. Secret Hunter is third from the top. It has a very good win rate, definitely. It struggles a little bit with Token Druid and also Mech Hunter. And it's doing okay against Warrior, but Secret Hunter is also, it seems like it's better to below rank 5 and rank 10, somewhere around there and below that, because towards the higher places on the ladder, people are really accustomed to playing around the secrets, are not going to be progging them. Your rat traps won't get a lot of value. It'll also be something that you just drop towards the start of the game, and then it won't ever be procced throughout the remainder of the game. But but Secret Hunter can definitely win against Warrior. Uh, just playing a bunch of stuff and then dropping Soul Jin is going to be something that is backbreaking for the Warrior. I've lost a few times when I've been playing Warrior to Secret Hunter when they just have a crazy Soul Jin turn. So Dr. Boomsley is hanging around with the cat. What's up? Yeah, it's so nice. Yeah. Okay. Fun aside, definitely a good deck. It's a little bit more expensive. You have Subject 9, Celiax, Soljin. These are expensive crafts. Also solid cards, of course. But definitely a good deck. It's a bit expensive, and it's better towards the lower ranks. But then you do get a fast climb with this deck, and the matches are rather quick. Towards the top, you have your Mech Hunter. This is a little bit more solid and not really isn't better towards the lower or higher ends of the ladder. It is generally a very good deck. This is the one I've been playing a little bit with. It's generally good. It's a little bit worse against Shaman in general. It doesn't have a positive win rate. It's below 50% against all Shamans. But the worst, absolutely worst win rate, if you just look at the general stats for the Mech Hunter, is 44% in that area. And everything else is just green. Everything else is positive. A worst matchup, which is 44%, that's crazy good. That really means that you have a well-rounded, solid deck that can go toe-to-toe with any deck, as long as you get good at piloting it. So the Mech Hunter here is definitely a very good craft if you have a little bit more dust to work with. Snip Snap, again, was a free legendary. Leroy Jenkins is a solid craft. It's part of the basic set, will be there in all expansions. And Celiax has been really good from the time of inception in the game. So it's definitely something that if you get accustomed to playing with the archetype and the hunter, then it is a really solid deck to climb with. It is more or less not unfavored in any way, and if you come up against some of the poorer matchups and you're well versed in playing with the deck, then you squeeze out wins anyway. So definitely one of the very solid decks. But the top gun in the meta right now is the Control Warrior. Again, it struggles a little bit with Hunter, not too much. And Mech Paladin. Mech Paladin is a good counter towards Control Warrior, and also a little bit of a niche archetype in the Pogo Rogue. But the Pogo Rogue has a really poor win rate against a lot of the other decks. And I've also been managing with Control Warrior to squeeze out a win or two against Pogo Warrior. So it's not a complete walkover. So Control Warrior, because there's not a lot of these Mechathune decks in the meta right now, Control Warrior is really dominating the meta. One thing to be concerned with around the deck is that, for instance, right now I have an 11 and 5 for this specific season. So this means that I have a 69% win rate with the deck, but some of the matches are really slow. A mirror match with the Control Warrior can last up to 40 minutes or something like that. So you have to be patient, and even though you win a lot with the deck, you will have some long matches getting the wins with the Control Warrior. But it's a really solid deck. It's kind of your opponent throws down a threat, you deal with it, and that's gonna be the game plan for you. You just completely squeeze out each and every last drop of blood your opponent has, and then you go into the fatigue game from there, and then you just win it. A key card in making the Control Warrior work is Dr. Boom, Mad Genius. Uh, that guy you see over there. Um, Definitely one that I'm almost always doing a mulligan for, unless I know specifically that I'm against something. For instance, like a druid, which is usually a token druid. That's the only one where I'm not doing a mulligan for Dr. Boom. I might keep a one drop, but usually I'm doing a full mulligan for Dr. Boom. It's so great to have on curve on turn 7. So, but with that, I'd actually like to go into some gameplay, and we will be playing with the Control Warrior to see if we can squeeze out yet another win with that deck specifically. So let's try it out. Okay, let's see what we're up against. The majority of the shamans has been a little bit more controlled, the ones I've seen. But still, this isn't even a great hand if it's a Murloc Shaman. I still need some board clears and stuff. So I'll do a full mulligan. Hopefully we'll get some board clears and Dr. Boom. This is definitely a better hand. Just want to make sure I get Dr. Boom before turn 7. Fingers crossed that I do, at least. Oh, this is kind of a problem. You really want to make sure that you get rid of that one before it actually takes off. But I haven't got any possibility to do so right now. It's gonna be 2 more turns. Oh, this is gonna be awful. Oh, okay. Give me Weapons Project. Jeez, guys, come on. I'll do this. And we'll see. Either I can do a Militia Commander in the next turn, double Warpath. Please no Murlocs. That's a Murloc, come on, man. But that's it. Great. Whew. And I think actually, looking at this, I think it's better to just control with the Weapons Project. I'm going to be presented with some really broad boards later on. And now I can also use Harrison Jones in the next turn and draw a couple of cards. I think that's going to be fine. It's getting a little bit closer to Dr. Boom. Right, buddy? He's pushing some damage around. I think I'm forced into... a Warpath. Let's see here. Maybe get some armor. Maybe a couple of Murlocs left. just too dangerous a position to be in if he has a broad board full of murlocs and all that kind of stuff. It's also a little bit annoying. Can't take care of it. That's the kind of stuff that he really wants. This is a bloodlust. It's going to be a little bit backbreaking. 6, 18 plus another 6, 24, 26. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, 26. It's not a game loss, but it's an upward struggle from here. He chooses to go over that one. It's prudent enough. If you can get a missile launcher here. Nope. Eternian Roma is quite fine. I'll just have to use one of these. If he has another one, then I'm done for.
Shall we make a storm?
Not yet, anyway. Oh man. I should have hit him first there. Maybe. Getting stuff off the board should be the priority here. And this one is good in 2 turns, but I need it on the board right now. Oh, what is that? Targets adjacent minions. Okay, that's not a problem. Oh, come on, a Dr. Boom or something like that. He's going for the port control. I don't think I'm too unhappy about that. I think he's still in a good spot. Still. 3, 6, 7. That's a pretty good one. I'll get rid of that one. Guess that'll be fine.
Light the fuses!
Okay, I got rid of nothing.
That was a mistake.
Yeah. Willpower first. So, we're down to willpower, Dr. Boom, something like that. This is definitely a good one. Dr. Boom. Okay. I'll drop this guy, but I won't hit into the totem. Because that'll just be 1 more damage. It'll be upgraded to a 1/1 instead of a 0/1. Why didn't he use the 1/1 there? I guess I'll just complain. the minion that we get first. I think this is going to be the one, because then I can get rid of one of his. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll do a brawl. That's not really the best one that survives. That's actually quite horrible. Only positive thing is that I might be able to execute it next turn, but I might be dead. Like 8. He just needs 4 more. And he should have at least 1 more Murloc in hand. Jeez, man. Okay, so barely alive. Okay. First card played. I don't think that's going to matter all that much.
This would be a good time for a master plan.
Can do something with Snip Snap.
I've got the beast
I
in
don't think it's enough. Nope, it's not enough. Unless he gets kind of a disconnect or something like that, then I'm done. Nah. It's a great demonstration of the warrior. Really awesome. Okay. Against the shaman, no matter what shaman it is, Omega Assemblies and Harrison Jones are not going to do anything. So I'm going to fish for Dr. Boom.
victory or death.
And maybe some early game. I got Dr. Boom, which is great. I just need to curve into some stuff. Dynamatic is okay. If it turns out it's a Murloc Shaman. Okay. It's a good start for me. I want this to go a little slow. Yeah, you just push the hero power back in. That's perfectly fine. Oh, just yes, thank you. I guess I can get rid of it.
Defend the gates! To me!
Shall we make a storm?
Let's see. I think I want to go for the Dynamagnetic actually, because then next turn I can. weapons project.
Light the fuses!
I'm not in a rush, and it softens up the board quite a bit. We'll see where he goes from here. Could be that a brawl is a good choice. I guess a brawl is fine. Anything else than the Thunderhead needs to survive. And when you say that, of course, you know it's going to be the Thunderhead which survives. No? Wow. So now he's overloaded, so if he gets a slow turn, then Dr. Boom comes out, then I'm in a good position. Perfect turn 7.
I'm so glad.
He goes wide on the board. He's not. Okay. Then I can choose to do what? I can shoot that one, and then I have 3 whirlwinds. That's not enough. How to go about this? I can also shoot and celiacs. Yeah, that's fine. I actually have a bit of healing to do.
Unity, precision, perfection.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I actually don't want to do that. Because of bloodlust. Next turn, that's gonna be fine, but not this turn. Because now I have this one. Full health and taunt. Come on, guys. Guess I could just do the 4. It's 12.
This would be a good time for a master plan.
I want to keep his board rather narrow. And also have an iron beak owl in there somewhere. Okay. So I'm going to do a Super Collider. Antonium rover. How many times? It's gonna be. It's 2 CS snip snaps. It's gonna be 4. I guess that's fine. It's going to be okay. That's going to be 412. It's not completely crazy.
I bring life.
Okay. Yes, that's okay. And then we draw first. I'll save that for the next turn. I'll get rid of that one. So it should be a turn. Any turn that he has Hagatha available, he'll drop that. Not that Hagatha, I was actually thinking about the hero, but fair enough.
Spells I give to thee.
Should be able to handle that board. Gonna be that clears the board. Therefore, I would like to do the shield slam and the shield block. I want to get the full value out of that one. There we go. I'll just keep that. We're back to full health. It's not too bad. Let's do that. Okay, let's see what we draw. Yes, with a nice pinata. Okay. We'll drop the commander here.
To me!
Right now I just want to control the board. He should also have Archivist Elishana. I have to be a little bit mindful about how many cards that I have. How many cards I draw. Guess we are getting rid of that one. And then how far?
Okay,
So
then.
1, and then 2, 3. Should be able to do a full clear. Whoop. Let's hit that one.
Light the fuses!
And we'll drop this one. We'll just draw a few cards. I don't mind that he hits that one. It's fine. Okay. I'm not drawing anything with that one, that's fine.
That
Let's see
belongs
here.
in a museum. Take that!
See the mechs. That's pretty good. Maybe when I recreate the deck. I won't drop the Eternium Rover, it's just going to be food for Hagatha. He should. There's a good chance that he
That
has
belongs in a
Hagatha right
museum.
now. Okay, that's, I guess, fine. Because now we're more evened out anyway. I think I might want to drop the weaponized Pinata into Harrison Jones. Let's see the mech that we can get. Oh, Brilliant Nullifier is so good. It's because he can't hit into that one. So I can actually do a setup now. I drop the Copper Tail and Pinata. Then I can latch on the Beryllium Nullifier on that one.
Listen here.
Or a really big minion that he can't hex. And even with Hagatha, he can't get rid of it. Can I actually get rid of it? Yes, I can. And silence it, and then I have a lot of magnetic right now. Let's do this. And then we'll go with that game plan. We can't even get rid of it with another walking fountain. Dude. Let's try this one. This is really the best hero power. Another Beryllium Nullifier. There we go. I could drop Turnham Rover
Okay then.
and latch on a few snip snaps. I think that's going to be worth it. We'll try. See if that one sticks. There should be another Hagatha scheme in there somewhere. I managed to hex it before. Let's try this one out.
Despair. Destruction. Commence annihilation.
Does he have another answer?
Storm?
Yet. Anyway. High rolls at 3. It's only a 2. He doesn't have a hex. That's one takeaway from this. I can do this,
Precision.
and then we should be fine.
Commence annihilation.
We'll do this. And I get this one to drop. Perfect. See, he exactly needs Hagatha's scheme. Oh, sure. It does something. But now I have the Brilliant on 9.
Magic neutralized.
That one. That's pretty backbreaking. In the long run, that's not going to be enough. I'm not happy about that one at all.
I'm almost out of cards.
Yeah, let's go for that one.
Hostile detected.
There's a couple of hits. He hits that one. He's probably still has some heals and stuff. Oof. There was a hex in there. And yes, the Witch's Brew. Figured as much. Sap. Okay. Alright. I guess I'll drop this one.
This story deserves a new ending.
I need a rush minion if that's gonna be the case. Let's try that one. There's a rush minion. That's pretty bad. Oh, that's good. And just a big minion.
Commence annihilation.
I'm almost out of cards.
It's just a little bit more value usually in the Shaman matchups.
A path dimly lit.
Seems like that could be it.
Tiny flies, flee before me.
$17, that's not enough.
I must decide.
Yeah, that's it. Alright, so we got there, guys.
Take you.
And Warrior is really good at the moment. I expect to have a good run towards Legend with the deck. But it is really expensive, and this takes a bit of practice also to maneuver. But it's great fun. But the matches do take a lot of time, especially in the mirrors. But that's it, guys. Leave a like, comment, anything to improve my content. That'll be perfectly fine. And I'll be doing more videos just like this, but also other stuff. So see you in the next one.